Hey, did you see that post on the Infinity Facebook group?
Nah, what was the gist of it?
So someone posted a link to an article about why women don't play tabletop war games. You got any thoughts on that kind of thing?
Yeah, like that discussion keeps coming up every now and then. I guess the main thing to remember is there isn't just one reason. There's a bunch of things to keep in mind. First of all, quite a lot of women don't even know about tabletop wargaming because guys don't tell them about it and assume they won't even like it. Secondly, Infinity is a hobby in the same way that things like hiking, camping, playing soccer, watching a lot of Netflix, reading books, cooking and painting can all be considered hobbies in their own way. When you're thinking about how likely a female would be to take up Infinity as a hobby compared to one of those other things, you want to think about how appealing it actually comes across in social terms. There aren't actually very many women currently in the hobby actively promoting it to their female friends and telling them about how much fun they're having with it. Sure, there's a bit of that, but not enough to help the widespread appeal very much. Also, it's not a hobby that most women look at from the outside and think that it's going to be a way to become cool or empowered. All will make them feel really good to succeed at, especially when you compare the appeal of it with the other hobbies I just mentioned. Even watching movies or reading a book is something that anyone knows in advance that they can reliably have a good, safe time with. I think some women who hear about the tabletop war games look at that and aren't sure whether they'll have a good time with it or not and give it a miss to be on the safe side. Then there's the fact that the game itself usually depicts a lot of male fantasy soldier types dressing up in bulky armour and shooting off their big guns, which is something women can get into if they want to, but at first appearance it can come across a bit testosterone fueled, especially when you listen to how a lot of guys talk about the hobby and the games they're having. It's not always the case, but the impression is either a bit macho or locked up in strategy game jargon. Anyway, that's a pretty big generalisation, but hopefully gives you some idea of the situation.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that people are a tiny bit toxic on the online discussions.
Get good, scrub, Lamau. Given your bait profile name and low IQ response, I could ignore this, but you're also simultaneously liking a post from a person who is claiming to play 2 to 3 games a week since the launch of N4, where in that same post he admits, despite his abnormally high rates of games, only have encountered several of the complained about units and mechanics once or twice. I don't even know what to say to that because I'm not sure I should be baffled or impressed by the 4D trolling. Just in case you're actually not trolling though, I suppose I could bring an equally worthless level of response. Get on my level, Lobob. There is nothing unkind or disrespectful about the word rape bear. If people can't stomach that kind, light-hearted vulgarity, it's their problem. Language policing in online spaces is a worrying trend, but absolutely needs to be opposed. There is a line to be drawn, of course, but it does not start at the mere mention of rape, especially not in the context of a game where you spend most of your time shooting and hacking things to pieces. It's cute that you live in a fantasy world and have convinced yourself that, but that's not what's happening. I can live with people getting their panties in a twist, as can many other people. The reason you're insufferable is not only are you hijacking threats on the basis of moral crusade, but you actively attempt to silence people by claiming the ones who offends you are distressing someone, even though you cannot actually point to anyone who have been distressed. I respected the first 2 posts that commented on the subject because they voiced their displeased opinion about the name Rape Bear. I do not respect yours or the other insufferable posts that actively calls for censorship. Don't be a liar and pull the uncensored forum card on me while upvoting every single post that wants to exclude or shut down people with different opinions than you. Whew. Man, this is a super uncomfortable conversation. Time for another forum sabbatical. Imagine if the forums had moderators. So, since you are a part of this community, that makes you an enabler? Do your woman friends know that? I don't think it's safe for them to hang out with you. Someone should warn them. Bullshitting aside, show me a quote from this thread that is misogynistic, please. Or stop saying stupid things that are both off topic and a figment of your imagination. Like I presume those many woman friends are. To be entirely honest, I am not angry, but I am very disappointed. ... In any case, predictably late or not, I'll join in. I left this thread to mature a bit. I do not know why I must say this, but some people find the term rape bear funny, others do not. A discussion about this is not the thread's topic, and if people care about the topic of the thread, they should have stopped it. Likewise, all the other personal attacks and assertions about the other posters, their beliefs, behaviors, and what they think in their minds. All we ask for here is a civilized discussion, and we expect people to follow that simple expectation. ... In any case, while the thread could go for a lock, it is in my opinion an important thread with a lot of things written to ask for a restart. You may continue, but I do not want to see the behavior shown above after this post. Been a while since I've done more than lurk, but I saw this and wanted my 2 cents in. There are more women and men-dominated hobbies invisible to the public, ranging from partners of guys who play to a bunch of women in a friend group doing the hobby. They don't participate in the public spaces because they either don't care to, like many hobbyists, or are put off from it because of either past experiences or horror stories. And it really is more than 1 or 2 guys in a community that puts us off, but that can be enough to just not want to try. I used to be a part of the MTG scene, and that isn't much better. Best way for communities to be more inclusive isn't going out of your way to add events or plaster rules everywhere. It's just this simple. Don't be a dick. Call people out on it and actually do something about repeat offenders. The worst thing that can happen is going to an event saying, hey, that guy's being an asshole, and just being told, that's just how he is. We don't want special treatment. We just want to be treated like a person, not an alien species that is ogled, talked about, or being condescended to. As a woman, I can confidently say that comments and threads like this show exactly why many women don't feel comfortable in the wargaming community. The reason there is more men than women iGaming is probably due to the fact that it is a war game, and most girls aren't really into that shit. But I'd be fairly confident that whoever wrote this hasn't probably got a lot of experience with women. LOL! Looks to me like you're a liar! Ooh. Why not show him out for saying blind shit, just so could try and get one over on me? Look at his statement about mono cost, and look at others saying I'm implying mono wouldn't kill anymore, or saying I didn't explain my intention. It's obvious a bunch of people here are just shitty because all they do is lie in order to pile on. Don't even fucking bother responding if you're not gonna be honest about what I'm saying. I've addressed every fucking little thing everyone has brought up, and you all keep saying the same shit as if I didn't address your concerns or explain myself. Just because you don't like the opinion or agree with it doesn't mean you have the right to ignore that it was even said. So you get to repeat yourselves like a bunch of assholes. This community is so fucking toxic, it's enough cause cancer. Honestly, I don't have to say anymore. You all are who you are in real life as you are here. How much you fucks look at yourself in the mirror? I'm done with you all. If by some tiny small chance I ever run into you people and realize, please don't make yourself known. The one guy who was sincerely trying to talk to you and help you with how you were forming these posts, and you basically tell him to screw off? Really?
Damn. And I was thinking women weren't playing just because Infinity's not very well balanced at the competitive level.
Oh, that too. Half of my girlfriends would jump straight into Infinity if only they would buff Pan-Oceania.